April 28, 1967, Houston, Texas. A 25-year-old man stands before a military induction officer. The officer calls his name, Cassius Clay. The man doesn't move. The officer calls again, Cassius Clay, step forward. Still nothing. The officer calls a third time. The room is silent. Finally, the man speaks. That's not my name. My name is Muhammad Ali, and I refuse to be inducted into the United States Armed Forces. With those words, Muhammad Ali throws away everything. The heavyweight championship, millions of dollars, his boxing license, possibly his freedom. Refusing military service carries a 5-year prison sentence. The media destroys him. Politicians call him a traitor. He's stripped of his title, banned from boxing for 3.5 years at his athletic peak. Most people would have backed down, apologized, taken the deal. But Ali says, I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong. No Viet Cong ever called me nigger. Before Muhammad Ali, athletes shut up and played. They didn't talk about politics, religion, or race. They entertained and stayed quiet. After Muhammad Ali, that was impossible. But here's the real question. How did a boxer from Louisville, Kentucky become the most recognized face on earth? How did he use his mouth as a weapon more powerful than his fists? How did he prove that an athlete could change the world not just by what he did in the ring, but by what he said outside it? This is that story. January 17, 1942, Louisville, Kentucky. Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. is born into segregated America. His father paints signs. His mother cleans houses. They're not poor, but they're black in Jim Crow, Kentucky. At 12, Cassius's bicycle is stolen. He finds a police officer, Joe Martin, who runs a boxing gym. Cassius says he wants to beat up whoever stole his bike. Martin says, you better learn how to fight first. Cassius starts training, and immediately everyone sees something special. Not just his physical gifts, his speed, reflexes, footwork, but his mouth. From the beginning, Cassius talks. He predicts which round he'll win. He recites poetry about his opponents. He brags constantly, outrageously, brilliantly. In 1950s-60s America, this is shocking. Athletes, especially black athletes, are supposed to be humble, grateful for the opportunity. Joe Louis, the previous black heavyweight champion, was the model. Dignified, quiet, non-threatening to white America. Cassius is the opposite, loud, brash, unapologetically confident. He's saying, I am the greatest before he's won anything significant. White America hates it. They call him arrogant, disrespectful. But Cassius understands something. Attention is power. The more he talks, the more people pay to see him. Some hoping he'll win, many hoping he'll get knocked out. Either way, they're paying. Rome Olympics. Cassius wins gold medal at light heavyweight. He's 18 years old, charming reporters, predicting victories, becoming a star. There's a famous story. Cassius wears his gold medal everywhere in Rome. A reporter asks if he ever takes it off. Cassius says, I even sleep in it. I'm so proud of it. He returns to America a hero. But in Louisville, a restaurant refuses to serve him. He's an Olympic champion, but he's still black in segregated Kentucky. Some say Cassius threw his gold medal into the Ohio River in disgust. Whether true or not, the story captures his growing awareness. America loves him as an entertainer, but doesn't respect him as a human being. Cassius turns professional, starts climbing the heavyweight ranks, and his mouth becomes legendary. He doesn't just predict victories, he predicts the exact round. He writes poems, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. His hands can't hit what his eyes can't see. This is unprecedented. Boxers don't do poetry. They don't perform for cameras. Cassius is creating performance art around boxing, making himself into a character, a brand, an icon. February 25th, 1964. Miami. Cassius faces Sonny Liston for the heavyweight championship. Liston is a monster, ex-convict, terrifying. 7-1 favorite. Most experts predict Liston will destroy the loudmouth kid. Cassius wins. Liston doesn't come out for round 7. At 22, Cassius Clay is heavyweight champion of the world. After the fight, Cassius screams at reporters, I shook up the world. I'm the king of the world. I'm pretty. I'm a bad man. But then he does something that changes everything. The next day, Cassius announces he's joined the Nation of Islam and changing his name to Muhammad Ali. This is 1964. The Nation of Islam is considered a radical, separatist, anti-white organization. Malcolm X is its most famous member. White America is terrified of it. Ali's announcement shocks the world. The media refuses to call him Muhammad Ali. They keep calling him Cassius Clay. Ali says, Cassius Clay is a slave name. I am Muhammad Ali, a free man. This is revolutionary. Athletes don't do this. They don't join controversial organizations. They don't change their names and demand respect. They certainly don't talk about slavery and freedom. Ali is saying, I'm not your entertainment. I'm not going to be the good Negro who smiles and accepts whatever name you give me. I define myself. The boxing establishment is furious. Many fans turn against him. But Ali doesn't care. He's discovered that being himself, even controversial himself, is more important than being liked. Then comes Vietnam. 1966. The Vietnam War is escalating. The military draft is expanding. Muhammad Ali, as a young, healthy American male, is eligible. The military gives Ali the classification that makes him draftable. They want him to serve or, at minimum, do boxing exhibitions for troops like other athlete celebrities do. Ali says no. His religion forbids him from participating in war. He applies for conscientious objector status. The military denies it. They say his objection isn't sincere. They order him to report for induction, February 1966. A reporter asks Ali about the draft. Ali says the words that will define his legacy. Man, I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong. No Viet Cong ever called me nigger. 17 words that explode across America. Ali isn't just refusing the draft. He's connecting the war in Vietnam to racism in America. He's saying, you want me to go kill people I have no problem with while you treat me like dirt at home? This is devastating logic that millions of Americans, especially Black Americans, immediately understand. The establishment goes insane. Politicians call Ali a traitor. The media destroys him. Boxing commissions start talking about stripping his title. Ali doesn't back down. At press conferences, he elaborates, why should they ask me to put on a uniform and go 10,000 miles from home and drop bombs and bullets on brown people in Vietnam while so-called Negro people in Louisville are treated like dogs? If I thought going to war would bring freedom and equality to 22 million of my people, they wouldn't have to draft me. I join tomorrow, but I either have to obey the laws of the land or the laws of Allah. I have nothing to lose by standing up for my beliefs. We've been in jail for 400 years. This is not typical athlete talk. This is political consciousness. This is connecting American foreign policy to domestic racism. This is philosophy and activism dressed in boxing shorts. April 28, 1967. The induction ceremony. Ali refuses to step forward when called. He's immediately arrested. Within hours, boxing commissions strip his championship. His boxing license is revoked in every state. He can't fight anywhere in America. He's 25 years old in his absolute prime, and his career is over. He's convicted of draft evasion, sentenced to 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. He appeals, staying free on bail, but he can't box. For 3.5 years, Ali can't fight professionally. Ages 25 to 28, the peak years for any athlete, stolen. Ali loses millions of dollars, but he gains something more valuable, moral authority. While he's banned from boxing, Ali speaks at colleges, debates politicians, appears at anti-war rallies. He becomes the face of resistance to the Vietnam War. Young people especially see Ali as a hero. He sacrificed everything for his principles. He stood up to the government and didn't back down. Martin Luther King Jr., initially cautious about Ali, eventually opposes the Vietnam War, partly influenced by Ali's stand. The anti-war movement adopts Ali as a symbol. Here's a man who gave up championship, money, fame rather than violate his conscience. What excuse does anyone else have for not resisting? Ali transforms from controversial boxer to cultural icon. He proves that athletes can have political power beyond their sport. The Supreme Court is deliberating Ali's case. Meanwhile, public opinion is shifting. The Vietnam War is increasingly unpopular. Ali's position doesn't seem radical anymore. It seems prescient. The Supreme Court overturns Ali's conviction on a technicality. He's free to box again, but he's lost 3.5 years. Most boxers would never recover. Ali comes back and proves he's still the greatest. October 30th, 1974. Kinshasa, Zaire. The rumble in the jungle. Ali faces George Foreman, a devastating puncher who destroyed Joe Frazier and Ken Norton. Ali is 32, past his prime. Most expect Foreman to kill him. Ali invents the rope-a-dope strategy: lean on the ropes, let Foreman punch himself out, then attack when he's exhausted. It works. Ali knocks out Foreman in the 8th round. The fight isn't just athletic triumph, it's in Africa. Ali is celebrated as a hero of black pride globally. The entire continent watches. Ali proves that black excellence can be celebrated on the world stage. But Ali's greatest contribution isn't his boxing. It's what he proved about athlete activism. Muhammad Ali retired in 1981, his speech already slurred from the punishment his brain endured. Diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 1984, he spent his final decades as a trembling shell of the loud, fast-talking champion. June 3, 2016. Ali dies at 74. His funeral is attended by presidents, celebrities, religious leaders from every faith. Billions watch globally. For a man the government once called a traitor, world leaders now praise as a hero. But Ali's real legacy isn't his record or his championships. It's what he changed about the relationship between athletes, politics, and society. First and most fundamentally, Ali proved athletes could speak out on political issues without destroying their careers. Before Ali, athletes stayed silent. After Ali, silence became suspicious. Every athlete who speaks out about injustice, Colin Kaepernick, LeBron James, Megan Rapinoe, walks a path Ali cleared. They face backlash, yes, but they can't be destroyed the way Ali was, because Ali showed it was survivable. Second, Ali weaponized his mouth. Before Ali, boxers let their fists do the talking. Ali showed that words could be as powerful as punches. His trash talk became legendary, but it wasn't just bravado. It was psychological warfare. It was entertainment. It was branding. Every athlete who understands that personality and story matter as much as performance learned from Ali. Third, Ali proved that being authentic, even controversially authentic, is more powerful than being palatable. He could have kept his Muslim faith quiet, accepted the slave name Clay, served in Vietnam, or done easy military service. But he refused to be anything except himself. And ultimately, the world respected that more than if he'd played it safe. Fourth, Ali connected athletics to larger struggles for justice. He showed that sports aren't separate from politics, race, religion, morality. That being an athlete gives you a platform to speak on these issues. This integration of athletics and activism is now standard. Athletes are expected to have opinions on social issues. Ali created that expectation. Fifth, Ali made black pride global. His fights in Africa, his connection to the civil rights movement and black power, his unapologetic blackness at a time when assimilation was expected, all of this made him a symbol of black dignity worldwide. Sixth, Ali influenced hip-hop culture profoundly. His verbal dexterity, his braggadocio, his poetry, his performance, that's the foundation of rap. Every rapper who says, "I'm the greatest," is channeling Ali. Muhammad Ali is sampled in countless songs, referenced in thousands of rap lyrics. The culture of trash talk, of verbal combat, of making yourself legendary through words. That's Ali's legacy in music. Seventh, Ali changed sports marketing. Before Ali, athletes endorsed products but didn't build personal brands. Ali understood that he was a brand, that his personality, his story, his controversy had value beyond his athletic performance. Modern athlete branding, LeBron as a brand, Jordan as a brand, Serena as a brand, that's Ali's blueprint. Eighth, Ali proved that losing commercially could mean winning morally. He lost millions refusing the draft, but he gained immortal respect. He showed that some things matter more than money. This influenced how we evaluate athletes. We respect athletes who stand on principle even when it costs them, because Ali showed us that's what real courage looks like. Ninth, Ali changed how we think about redemption. White America hated him in the 1960s. By the 1980s, 90s, he was beloved globally. His presence at the 1996 Olympics, lighting the torch with trembling hands, brought tears to millions. The transformation of public opinion on Ali mirrors America's transformation on race, war, and athlete activism. Ali didn't change. America changed its understanding of Ali. 10th, Ali's battle with Parkinson's, fought publicly for over 30 years, changed perceptions of the disease and traumatic brain injury in sports. His trembling hands reminded the world that boxing has consequences. This contributed to ongoing conversations about athlete health, brain injuries in football, the cost of our entertainment. 11th, Ali proved that an athlete could become the most recognized person on earth. In the 1970s-80s, Ali was more famous than presidents, movie stars, musicians. A boxer from Louisville became a global icon. This showed that athletic excellence combined with compelling personality could create unprecedented fame and influence. 12th, Ali's refusal to go to Vietnam became vindicated by history. The war is now widely seen as a mistake. Ali's position, once considered treasonous, is now seen as courageous and correct. This teaches that standing on the right side of history, even when it's unpopular, matters more than temporary approval. Ali's famous quotes endure. "Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I'm so fast I can hit the light switch and be in bed before the room gets dark." It's hard to be humble when you're as great as I am. But his most important quote might be, "I don't have to be what you want me to be. I'm free to be what I want." That freedom, to define yourself, to speak your truth, to stand on principle even when it costs everything, that's Ali's ultimate gift to the world. So how did Muhammad Ali change the world? He invented the modern athlete activist by proving that sports stars could speak on political issues and survive the backlash. He weaponized his mouth, showing that words could be as powerful as physical performance. He connected athletics to larger struggles for racial justice, making it impossible to separate sports from politics. He made Black pride global and influenced everything from civil rights movements to hip-hop culture. He proved that being authentically yourself, even controversially yourself, is more powerful than being what others want you to be. That standing on principle matters more than money, popularity, or temporary success. Most importantly, Ali showed that an athlete could use his platform to change not just his sport, but global consciousness about war, race, religion, and justice. He was stripped of his championship for refusing to fight a war he believed was wrong. History proved him right. He sacrificed everything for his principles and gained immortality. Muhammad Ali didn't just fight in the ring. He fought for the right of athletes to be fully human, to have opinions, principles, faith, and the courage to stand on them regardless of cost. That's how a boxer from Louisville changed the world forever. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and never ever let anyone tell you who you have to be.